Georgia, located along the shortest land route between China and Europe, is prized for its strategic location, a setting that makes it one of the key logistics and transshipment corridors for the Caucasus and the Central Asian region. Highly transit-oriented, around 60% of all overland freight passing through the country is en route between China and Southeast Asia to the east and Turkey and Europe to the west. Its utility is now set to be enhanced still further, with major upgrades already underway at many of its ports and plans in place to optimize its rail infrastructure. Looking beyond its natural advantages in the logistics sector, the country is home to some 3.7 million people. Its GDP structure is broad-based and diversified, with lively and growing trade, industry, transport, and communications sectors. Much of its economic success is down to the reforms that have been implemented over recent years, many of which have laid down a solid foundation for the country's future development. It's a success that also shows every sign of being sustained. Since 1995, Georgia has enjoyed a period of almost continuous economic growth. With that growth typically in excess of 5% per annum, it has outperformed many of its fellow members of the Commonwealth of Independent States, including Belarus and Russia. This is yet more impressive when you bear in mind that it lacks the oil, gas, and natural mineral resources that have bolstered many neighboring economies. It does, however, have a longer than average harvest season, something that has benefited its agriculture sector in general and its wine industry in particular. Despite having a heritage that dates back some 8,000 years, Georgian wines until very recently have been largely unknown among Asian consumers. From 2008 onwards, however, it has begun to win over an ever-increasing number of Chinese wine lovers, with its export levels to the mainland now growing exponentially. Wine aside, Georgia's true vintage appeal lies in its strategic location, an asset it has enhanced through extensive and sustained investment in transport infrastructure. Two recent developments in particular have underlined its key role in connecting the East and West. The first is the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars rail line, the shortest and arguably the most reliable link between Asia and Europe. While initially having the capacity for 1 million passengers and 5 million tons of freight, this ultimately sets to rise to 3 million passengers and 17 million tons of cargo. Then there is Anaklia, Georgia's first deep-sea port, which will eventually have an annual fleet throughput in excess of 1,000 million tons, ensuring it will play a key role in both the development of Euro-Asian trade and the implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative. As has been the case elsewhere, the Belt and Road Initiative has proved something of a catalyst, seeing a surge in the number of mainland businesses active in the country and establishing China as Georgia's largest trading partner in Asia. As a sign of the level of activity, just one mainland business, the Xinjiang Hualin Group Corporation, is already active in 8 different sectors across Georgia, including banking, real estate, hotel, and manufacturing. It would be wrong, however, to assume that Georgia's impressive track record when it comes to reform and redevelopment means that the country has completed its process of reinvention. Remarkably, rather than resting on its laurels, it is pushing ahead with a series of yet more ambitious programs. At the core of all these initiatives is a common focus, with the country ever keen to bolster its private sector competitiveness, develop its human capital and secure greater access to finance where required. In order to make good on many of these objectives, the Georgian government has prioritized the development of a series of industrial and tourism free trade zones, as well as a graph of industrial and techno parks. On top of all that, its long-mooted free trade agreement with Hong Kong was finally signed at the end of June, heralding a whole new era of cooperation and enhanced trade between the territories. Although more than 6,600 kilometers apart, the two are united by a common commitment to innovation and enhanced trade. The deal with Hong Kong in many ways comes as the culmination of a 15-year period that has seen Georgia implement almost 50 major business-friendly reforms. It is this commitment that has seen its ease of doing business regularly ranked at the very highest level among all European and Central Asian countries, many of which it has now also signed a free trade agreement with. Given Hong Kong's status as an international financial center, it is ideally positioned to broker and secure investment for large-scale Georgian infrastructure projects. At the same time, it could also play a key role in terms of matchmaking would-be Asian investors with any Georgian infrastructure initiative in need of substantial funding. In addition, given their newfound status as a free trade partner, Hong Kong can also help any Georgian businesses looking to promote or distribute agricultural items or new fashion concepts across all the key Asian markets. Furthermore, Hong Kong would also be a good platform for Georgian winemakers, ensuring they meet the Asian financiers who are now the prime movers in the world of global wine investment, an appropriate note on which to toast the opportunities opening up from the new era of free trade between Hong Kong and Georgia.